Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. 2024 BMW M4 CS.
With launch control. Wow.
Horsepower and torque.
543 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque from a 3-liter twin turbo inline 6-cylinder.
Yeah, I was in manual, but I think it was just shifting on its own there.
I think it does that in launch control because you have to have full traction off because it's an M car.
But the time I tried it before, I was bogging down when it happened.
Interesting.
Either way, all-wheel drive, launches super hard. What the heck is the difference between this and that M4 CSL that we drove earlier?
Okay, so this is more hardcore than a regular M4, but less hardcore than the CSL. So the CS is competition sport without the lightweight. So we don't get the crazy extra light weighting that one had, but we do get the same power, and we get a little bit of different things here and there with different options and wheels and stuff like that.
Okay, so first thing I noticed, we don't have that cool ducktail spoiler trunk.
Yep.
So I guess that probably saved a bunch of weight.
And money.
We got this carbon fiber thing in the middle with no cup holders, but we got a little palm rest.
Yeah, so the whole center console is there, but there's nowhere to kind of put a cup or anything.
Still carbon fiber hood.
Yes.
Still carbon fiber roof.
Yes.
Carbon fiber seats, but not the crazy carbon fiber seats.
Yeah, but these are like the standard buckets that you get in like an M4 as an option because they still have this like crotch thing that we don't like.
Usable back seat.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, the other one had that removed?
Yes.
Okay, so that means this one shouldn't be fast at all if I floor it.
Well, same horsepower. Yeah, and it's X-Drive, so it's all-wheel drive, unlike the CSL, so that's a huge difference.
Yes, and then that one sounded way nuttier because this one still has all its like sound insulation that one got rid of.
But we do have a titanium muffler on this one, so let's take a listen to the outside. So it sounds a little bit different than a regular M4, but not as crazy as a CSL.
And then I guess the CSL was limited to I think like 1,000 units.
Globally.
So you'll never be able to buy one where this you might actually be able to.
Potentially, although this is limited to 75 units for Canada.
Oh, okay, so you still can't get it.
Probably.
These cars aren't for you. They're not for us. They're for the guys who buy a million BMWs at the BMW dealership.
Basically, and they get the manual in Dakar Yellow. They get their CSL in the previous generation because we've already driven a CS, a CSL. We've kind of driven the whole, basically every version that's come out in this new generation.
Yeah.
And the refresh of the new generation.
So we've finally completed the infinity gauntlet of M3s and M4s.
I believe that's a correct term to use for movies I don't watch.
Unless there's like a lower trim version of M3s and M4s that I guess they wouldn't be M's, they would just be like
440s, which we've also driven.
Is there a diesel? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this one also has a Alcantara steering wheel with carbon fiber on the sides with this like ladder frame thing that we've seen on the regular ones, but it's carbon fiber here.
Yeah, I mean like cool changes for it, and then I guess automatic transmission only?
Yes. And visually from the exterior, there are a bunch of cool changes, like we have yellow headlights, which are pretty sick.
Yeah, only when you're in full headlight mode, because when you're in DRL mode, they're still white because yellow is illegal in Canada, I guess, if you have just that going on.
Something like that, yes, but at least we can drive with yellow lights now. Just like we could on the M4 CSL.
And just like the M4 CSL, we have the same taillights, which also is now the same taillights for every single four.
Yeah, 440i.
Which sucks, I guess.
Yeah, they've taken it down into the lower levels.
Okay, we still have red outlines around the grille, but no more red outlines around the stripes on the hood.
Right.
I feel like we had that, so that was a differentiator too.
Yes, and then we do have these awesome forged wheels. The design is amazing.
Yeah, okay, matches the gold and stuff, matches the green paint really well. You know I'm sick of it, but it is like a cool spec.
It is a really good spec.
And then what would be the Continental recommended tire for an M4 CS?
The Extreme Contact Sport 02, or if you wanted to take it up a notch, get the Extreme Contact Force for a lot of track time.
Fun fact, Continental Tire is the sponsor of the BMW Performance Driving School. So if you go to one of those, you're going to be rolling on some canties.
Yeah, we've done a lot of laps in BMWs on Continentals at a lot of events, which has been pretty cool.
Yes, and they are very impressed at how we know how to break all the rules and turn traction control off at the BMW Performance School.
Yes, and I did place second last time in autocross and the rat race.
Canadians are the best at driving these.
We are pretty good. And then back to the exterior bits as well, changes. We do have a little bit of extra carbon out there as well, like the front lip and stuff like that.
Yeah, the front lip's super aggressive. I like that. It's cool. It really like comes out a lot.
And then if we pop the hood, we do get a strut brace as well to stiffen things up.
I like how it's all carbon on the back.
Yes, and then if we look at the top of the hood, it tells us what oil weight we use, which is actually 0W30, right?
Okay, more importantly, is there a dipstick? Let's do the dipstick test.
There is no dipstick. It's a BMW. You have to do it through the infotainment as the car is parked.
I'm excited to review an old BMW and find a dipstick. Like, what's the newest BMW that we could find with a dipstick? But what would be the TotalEnergies recommended oil for an M4 CS?
That would be the Quartz 0W30.
Follow your manufacturer's recommended guidelines. Would you change your own oil on your lift if you own this car, or would you take it to the dealership, bring your own oil to them?
I mean, I would love to do it myself because I've done my E55 myself, which was pretty fun, which by the way has 2 drain plugs, so that was fun.
I would just call the dealership and be like, I'm coming in for an oil change, use some TotalEnergies oil for it. Or I would just buy it and bring it in myself for them to use because I'm always worried about warranty stuff.
Yeah, no, that's a good option.
I only change the oil on my own on old junk cars.
Yeah, I mean, I only own old junk cars, so I change all my own oil. Plus, I take it to places too.
I used to work as a lube tech at
I know.
like 2 different shops. Okay, then tiny little bit of handling because this car is much more capable than anywhere I'm able to take this right now.
Yeah.
And it just feels so incredibly planted, like it's competing with like almost GT level Porsche kind of handling, it feels like.
And we're driving this like back to back with a normal M3, and this feels like a lot above that.
Like 2 steps above it.
Yes. So it's nice to see some actual feeling changes rather than just seeing the price inflate.
And it's nice having all-wheel drive for this. Because like I had an MDM, and you know what? I got a little too antsy in my pantsy, and it did move and it saved itself.
But it is cool that you can also make it full rear-wheel drive by turning off traction and doing that.
All right, Jacob, your turn to a rear-wheel drive launch control. Nah, then you're not going to get the full launch.
Well, we're going to see what I'm going to do. I don't even know what I'm going to do yet.
Do you want me to move the seat back?
Oh, please.
Ahead of time. It's got presets. Should I put it to your preset?
I didn't set it in this car.
How nice is that as presets?
It is nice.
Imagine if
for a race car.
Imagine if it didn't, if it just had manual seats.
Oh, man.
Yuck.
Well, I'm going to be a child, obviously. 2-wheel drive, full traction off. Let's see what happens if I brake boost it. Yeah, that's sick.
That's good for having fun.
Yeah. And it was actually going to roll into a standing burnout, I think, too. So that's pretty cool. Shout out BMW.
Shout out BMW.
Still making fun cars to drive. Really fun.
All right, 4-wheel drive sport, right?
Yes, that's the one I would like to drive in right now. And I'm going to put myself back into MDM mode, which is the...
But then you can't launch control.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, I forgot. Okay. There we go. And manual. Yes, preparing launch control. Sequence of events is correct. Oh my!
Oh!
Damn, that's fast.
I guess the tires were super warmed up.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Wow!
That rips so hard, man. What a crazy car.
Is it like 911 turbo kind of?
No, it's not that crazy.
Almost?
I mean, 0 to 60 is in the 3-second range. Turbo's like in the low.
What, Cayenne turbo? Something
Yeah,
Porsche
okay.
with all-wheel drive.
Sure, yeah, something like
Usually
that.
BMW doesn't hit that hard. Or I guess they
Well,
have
no,
lately.
BMW.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I got a rock in my brakes or something.
Drive backwards a bit.
Yeah, they
You
are.
have, what, you have carbon ceramics on here for an extra $10,000?
Yes, I do actually.
Or do you even have an option to not get them?
I think you can get it without it,
Hit
but
the
we
brakes,
do
hit
have
the brakes at here. Okay, the rock's gone.
It's gone. All right. Shout out rock being on. Okay, so ZF 8-speed auto shifts nice and quick, and that boost punches real hard.
Yeah, this is the perfect amount of gearing for boost and speed. Like it is, you get so fast, so quickly, you don't even realize it.
And you can change the shift speed by pressing this button, which actually changes kind of the intensity and the smoothness between gears. So now it's a lot smoother. Oh, look at that. It just like rolls into each shift rather than like punching in the back. But I like to be punched in the back, at least today. And then pressing this button down here, we've got our exhaust mode. So let's take a listen to the inside now. Downshift, no exhaust. Oh yeah, big difference. Yeah, okay, so you get valved plus pumped in.
I like that when I started up the car, it started with the exhaust on.
Really?
I don't know why. I was shocked.
Shout out BMW
maybe
again.
Maybe it's underneath that special limit.
Yeah, and BMWs do let you rev all the way to redline in park, which is a feat of engineering these days, so thank you, because Mercedes doesn't let you do that.
Yeah, well, like, BMW and Mercedes are they're like getting more different every day.
True, yeah.
And then Audi is like way more past Mercedes on the Mercedes side.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. They're like kind of going more towards the comfort, but they're also coming out with like performance versions of a lot of stuff.
But then is Porsche more past the BMW on the other side?
Yes.
Yeah.
That thing, not that I know from any experience, will let you rev it to the moon as soon as you start that car. You can just bounce off the limiter, which I don't recommend. Definitely warm up your cars. Okay, so with this, I love this Alcantara steering wheel. It's nice to grip, although for daily driving, probably not the best. You're probably going to ruin this with Cheeto hands and all that kind of stuff and grease. Not going to look cool.
Would you daily drive this?
I don't know.
Is it a daily drivable car?
It is daily drivable, but I don't know if I would. I'm really missing those cup holders, but I do think the suspension is good enough for daily driving. It is noticeably, yes, it is noticeably stiffer than the regular M3 that we're driving right now, but still tolerable.
Yeah, you know what? I did have my half-filled small Timmy's cup in this door pocket, and I did do launch controls and some handling, and it did not spill. I had the lid closed.
I don't know if that's impressive or if BMW needs to make their shifts more aggressive.
Yeah, that was good. It was like, you know.
No, that is impressive. And then we do have a wireless charger down here, so.
Which is nice to have in front.
Yes.
Instead of cup holders.
Exactly.
Or instead of having it in the armrest.
So not exactly the most lightweight, but that's also not the L. But I believe the L also had that when we had it. Also, I tried to clutch in there.
Imagine this is the manual.
And this is just, it's so twitchy. Like it's extremely responsive to every single input.
What's your steering on? It's not even on sport.
I don't like sport because it just like adds heavy artificial weight to it. I actually prefer comfort.
Is it the best steering? No, like it's nowhere near as good as Porsche steering.
No, it's really not. But I just like how responsive it is. Like, is there feel? Not really that much, but it's just really responsive.
Probably good on track.
And as I am ripping this thing around, the seats are extremely well bolstered. Like once you're in them, it's kind of nice, but at the same time, I'm reminded of how much I hate them because everything in my pockets just gets like pushed up.
You can adjust the bolsters, but you can't
but these bottom ones down here.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But
where my thighs are.
It's funny how you can't adjust the lumbar, just the bolstering.
Yeah.
But I guess that kind of makes sense.
I got thunder thighs.
But like, doesn't this feel like the most like planted BMW?
I mean, they all feel really planted.
This feels like extra planted compared to the M3 we just drove.
Yeah, I think it comes down to like a lot of the suspension geometry plus the tires and stuff because we have a very aggressive track tires. And then we do have an M Sport differential as well. I believe it's probably tuned specifically for this car, different than the M3 as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get a lot of stuff for your money, which is a lot of money. But let's talk about this infotainment quickly. It is the same generation of BMW stuff. I drive 8.5, the newest thing.
Yeah, the big screen one, same as everything else.
Apple CarPlay, wireless. We're getting used to all this stuff.
Hey, look, only USB-A.
Oh, interesting.
Psych, USB-C down here.
Got me.
Just like my iPhone plug.
But that's only a charger. That's
it's wireless anyways.
Oh, yeah,
I guess that's maybe from music to Bluetooth, but not CarPlay.
Maybe. And then there's also a key slot over there, which is kind of nice.
Sick.
And then, yeah, that's about it for everything else in here.
I think so.
I like it a lot. This car rips.
This car rips. It just like, I think I like the CSL more because it was like way crazier.
And it's more exclusive. It's crazier.
That reminded me more of 911 GT car like craziness.
Yeah, I get that.
But also you can't buy one.
Yeah.
You really can't. This one you probably can't buy. That one you really can't buy. How much would it hypothetically cost if they let you buy one? Let's get to the price.
It starts at a very convenient, exactly $150,000.
Nice, Canadian.
And this one is optioned out to $165,900 thanks to this frozen green paint and the carbon ceramics.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
And the crazy part is, we haven't driven the new C63, at least on video. I drove one briefly. I don't really want to talk about it, but this is very similarly priced to that. which is insane in my head because I've now driven that one.
They got to switch that over to like V8 soon, right?
Yeah, they really have to.
Change their mistake.
They really have to. Let's just leave it at that. It was not a pleasant experience is where I'll leave that.
Okay, so if you had to get an M4 or M3 from all the ones we've driven, since we've driven them all, tsb.truecar.com, I'm going for a M3 from the very first year.
Okay.
Even though I think back in those videos I claimed the M4 was cooler.
Yeah.
But I want to utilize that back seat room for a child seat.
Okay.
So I'd go for a manual M3.
So it sounds like we're allowed to cheat a little bit, so I'm going to go with a previous gen M2 CS.
It's not gen, no, it's this gen M3 or M4.
Ah, man.
On
All right.
tsb.truecar.com.
I'm going to go with, oh, this is a tough one.
And remember, this and the CSL doesn't count because they won't sell it to you.
I'm going to go with an M3 CS.
Will they sell that to you? Can you even buy that?
I don't know, man.
All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Hope you enjoy watching videos of cars that none of us will ever be able to buy. We're not even allowed to buy or consider buying.
Yeah. Well, see you guys at the next one, which might be some crazy next German car in Germany. Who knows?